Welcome to Live Without a Car, the show where we talk about everything related to living a car-free life. I'm Amanda, and I personally have lived without a car for nearly a decade in Portland, Oregon. I'm also an economist and your host, and today I want to talk about the number 13,000. According to a policy brief from the American Public Transportation Association, the average American can save more than $13,000 per year by taking public transit instead of owning and driving a car, depending on where they live. That's about $1,100 per month back in your pocket. And the reason those savings are so big right now comes down to one simple thing that we have talked about before. Cars have gotten dramatically more expensive. Compare that $13,000 number to annual public transit costs. According to APTA's fare database, monthly public transit fare prices have stayed steady since 2020. From 2019 to 2023, the average price of a new car has gone up more than 30%, an increase of about $11,000. Used cars have risen even faster, around 40%, or about $8,000 more than they used to cost, driven partly by the pandemic. Then there's gasoline. In 2023, gas prices jumped about 25%, driven by limited oil supply, the global economy reopening after COVID, and the war in Ukraine affecting energy markets, not to mention what is happening today in 2026. So when you combine higher car prices, higher interest rates, higher fuel costs, higher insurance, etc., the total cost of driving just keeps climbing. That means the cost gap between driving and transit just keeps widening. The report also lists out savings by city, specifically the top 20 cities in the US with the most public transit ridership. I will link the free report down below in the show notes so you can see if your city is on the list. Some honorable mentions include Portland, Oregon, my home city, saving an average person $14,298 per year. By this calculation alone, I have saved $142,980 in the 10 years I have chosen to live in Portland without a car. There is some nuance to this number since it is just an average, but the bottom line is that going car-free can save you a lot of money. If you listened to my previous podcast on best and worst places to live without a car, you know that Portland was ranked in the top 10 best cities. That means that living without a car here not only saves money, but also is easier to do than in most of the country. So if you're interested in exploring what it would be like to live without a car this year, my advice is simple. When you walk out your front door, ask yourself, where can I go right now without my vehicle? Can you easily catch a bus to work? Can you walk to a friend's house? Can you attend a networking event using rideshare for a reasonable fee? If the answer to these questions is no, which is highly likely given infrastructure in the US, can you get creative? Can you negotiate a remote work arrangement? Can you move to a more centrally located area in your existing city in order to have access to more transportation options? Can you order delivery instead of always picking things up with your car? Asking these tough questions gets you one step closer to saving a huge chunk of money that could be used elsewhere. I encourage you to think differently about how to live life, knowing that the payoff can be so great. Thanks for listening to Live Without a Car. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, walk slowly and enjoy the scenery. Ciao!